What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp. This is Sparky, back again like he never left. As you can see, he's only got one usable hand this time.
This is about 2/3.
2/3 usable. He broke some fingers. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Monstrum Spectre 1:6 LPVO, which is a very entry-level budget optic from Monstrum Tactical. Monstrum's very much an entry-level, like, get into the market type optics company. And you know, we like to cater to all people, you know, expensive stuff and budget-oriented stuff. And this one's, I think, a very good entry-level optic.
I would say so.
Full disclaimer, Monstrum did send this out to the channel for a review.
Yes.
The flies are crawling all over us today.
Take a shower.
Yeah, I know, I must be stinky. Monstrum did send this out to the channel for us to review. So big shout out to Monstrum Tactical for that. We really appreciate it. We wanted to give you guys a kind of disclaimer because we feel like, you know, everybody should know where the stuff comes from. Second thing, only cans, basement operator.
Not to be confused with anything else.
Nah, not to be confused. Basement operators are...
Operator.
And that's what it is. We have a new shirt out, Lost Moss Phoenix Operator. That's not it?
Close enough.
All right, anyway, we have a new shirt out. You should go check it out at basementoperator.com. I really appreciate it. They're super comfy. They're we got the new comfort tees, so yeah. This is nice, real nice. All right, so go check us out there. Without further ado,
Let's get into it.
the optic. So this is very much a budget optic.
Wallet friendly.
Wallet friendly. This is something you would get into as kind of like your very first optic when you're building out your very first.
Figuring it out, getting introduced to it.
Getting into it. So we have it here on the PSA, the budget PSA, the Blim. And this thing runs about $200 if you buy it from Monstrum. All right. Amazon right now is running a sale on it. It's 170 bucks. We will link it to Amazon down below so you can...
Comes with the mount.
Comes with the mount. So you can go check it out on Amazon if you go click the link below. But let's talk a little bit about some of the features and some of the things about this optic and what we like and dislike about it. Because there's a little bit of both, you know?
So it's 1:6:24.
Yeah.
Like most LPVOs.
Very standard LPVO.
Half MOA adjustments.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of just your run-of-the-mill
LPVO. Like
Yeah.
that's
what it is. It,
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of Monstrum's G3 series LPVO, which I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's got the, you know, the turrets and everything like that. But the big difference between this and their G3 is, one thing, this is a second focal plane optic. So whereas the G3 is a first focal plane, as you magnify, your reticle will grow and shrink. This has a fixed reticle. So that means if you want to use any of the reticle stuff, you have to use it on the max power to get accurate holdover MOA adjustments, whatever it is. Yeah, it has to be used on the max power. The reticle in this, and we will pop it up here on the screen, and I'll pull out the cheat sheet because, you know, I can't remember anything to save my life, is the MX1 reticle. And Sparky, you had some thoughts on it when we were using this.
I was playing around with it. For the most part, I liked it. At close range, it's easy to acquire target with it. The only issue I saw was, depending on your background, because the lines are so fine in it, it was easy to lose. Like in a wood, like if you head it up to like a wood line, because it's such a fine reticle, the lines of it, it was easy to lose, even with the illumination on. You know, you can find that center dot relatively easy, which I guess it's all you really need. But because everything's so fine, it's really hard. That's one thing I complain about, is it's hard to find.
Yeah, and I would agree. It's not like the most big reticle, I guess.
But I guess it doesn't really have to be necessarily. But it was just one thing I noticed compared to others, that the only thing I could really find to complain about it was that. Yeah. But I did like he had the center dot, then he had the little box around it. So at extreme close range, as long as your target's within
that box,
you're on it. Yeah. Kind of like other manufacturers like Vortex, stuff like that. They have similar
approaches to target acquisition.
Exactly. So at super close range, as long as your target's within that area, you're going to hit center mass.
Yeah. And to help out with the acquisition, we had kind of mentioned, it does have an illuminated reticle.
Which is nice.
Which is nice. There is different illuminations. There's a red one and there's a green one, depending on like what you're used to, how you're used to acquiring your targets.
What you see easier.
Yeah. If you like red better or if you like green better. Personally, I'm a red fan.
More of a green guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. I like the red because I think it stands out a little bit more. I guess it really depends on your environment too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I would say.
Or if you're red-green colorblind, or does that matter? I don't know. I'm not colorblind. Whatever. The reticle is illumination and does have illumination, and there is a total of 5 settings for each. All right, so we kind of briefly talked about the turrets. The turrets remind me a lot of the G3 turrets. However, these are really nice turrets.
Reset them to 0.
Reset them to 0. They have a very good audible click to them, which is really important, especially if you are, dialing it in, zeroing it. You want to make sure you hear every time you make an adjustment. I think it's really important that you can audibly hear it and not just see it, so that you know the adjustments are made.
Exactly. It's just nice to know.
Yeah, and speaking of all the adjustments, tracking, it tracked really good. So we have actually done some pretty extensive tracking tests, doing the box test on these. We've done it on this one, and it worked fine. We did the whole entire test on no problems whatsoever. Moving on, we have a 30mm tube. So
standard.
Very standard. This comes with a Monstrum tactical
offset
or cantilever mount. You had mentioned earlier, it's a
larger offset.
Yeah.
Than most,
Yeah.
which is interesting because one of the selling points of this optic is the fact it's more compact.
Yeah, so
than most LPVOs.
Yeah,
so it's interesting.
So the way they're able to have a more compact optic system is because it does have a new upgraded optic system in it. So this LPVO is about 11 inches long, and if we hold it up to this one right here, it is a few inches longer. I think about 1.5 inches maybe, longer than this LPVO right here, which is a pretty standard sized LPVO. So it is more compact. It is lightweight, so it's about 1 pound. And I mean, if you have less crap on your gun, the more you can maneuver it around things, or just, not get it caught on as much stuff. So that's one of the nice features of this optic, and I think is like a really, really good selling point for it, is how compact it is. One of the things that it also comes with is flip-ups. I'm not a real big fan of flip-ups because I usually break them. I'm being completely honest.
Like that?
Yeah, well, I usually snap them right here.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty easy to just, lose or actually flip up, like just moving it in and out of the truck.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes, you smack this too hard into something, just shears right there. So I usually take the flip ups off.
But you got them if you want them.
Yeah, but you got them if you want them. So that's kind of the whole package really for the Spectre 1-6 LPVO from Monstrum. Let's kind of talk about how it performed, because we've done a lot of shooting with it. We've had it for quite some time now, and I mean, I think it's a fairly decent entry-level budget option for an optic.
Cost in mind, it did its job.
If you can pick it up for that $170 at Amazon, I mean, if you're buying this for, like I said, your first firearm, or if you're just looking for something, inexpensive, or maybe you're trying
airsoft.
Or airsoft?
Yeah,
I mean, it works. So why would you pick up this optic in particular? Why go for this specific LPVO? I think the main reason is price point.
Oh yeah.
It's that introduction to the LPVO. It's the entry level optic that
wallet friendly.
Yeah, wallet friendly. Maybe you're not 100% sold on the LPVO, and maybe it's something you just want to dabble in.
If you're undecided on your application.
Yeah, and if you're undecided on your application, or if you just want to enter the market and not drop $500, $600, $700 on an optic, I think this is a very good option, because I mean, it comes with your mount and it comes with flip ups. You have a very nice turret system on it. You got a return to 0. You've got a very
I'm gonna get him in a minute.
You've got a return to 0, very audible clicks. You've got different illumination settings.
It's got a lot of features for the price point.
You got a lot of features for the price point. It's got a built-in throw lever that has a pretty stiff throw to it. I mean, it's everything you would like to see on a budget entry-level optic, and I think this would be a great option for anybody that's just dipping their toe in the water.
Yeah, or if you just strictly don't have the money. If you just need an optic
that works,
that it doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles like some other ones, but it's going to hold 0. It's going to do its job.
It's going to track, and it's going to do what it needs to do.
So for the money, can't really go wrong.
And the biggest thing about this is you pick it up, you use it, you train with it, you get efficient with it, and it'll do what you need it to do.
You do your half, it'll do it. It's it.
Exactly. So I think that's kind of why you would pick this up, and I think that's really all we have to say about this part. I mean, it's a good budget budget-friendly optic from Monstrum Tactical.
Checks all the boxes.
Checks all the boxes. So once again, thank you to Monstrum Tactical for sending this out. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more, you know, budget-oriented, budget-friendly reviews. And make sure to check us out on Instagram, where you can find all sorts of deals in my swipe up story. So links in the description, because I'm shadow banned for my Instagram. So I think that about does it. We'll see you guys on the next one. As always, take some outdoors. Peace.
About the Jackie Chan and these flies.
God, they're all